forward-thinking woman in Kansas is being credited with saving a toddler's life by breaking a car window to rescue the child locked inside in sweltering heat.
The windows were totally up. All the doors were locked. She was covered in sweat. Like, when I looked in the window, she pulled her hair back, and sweat was just drip, drip, drip. I was just getting so mad that it wouldn't break. And I was just praying, like, break the window. She's gonna die. She was crying, and she was like, she was drenched in sweat. Like, her shoes were wet. Like, she was so drenched in sweat. And I just started crying.
We can understand the emotion to that, can't you? The rescue was caught on cell phone video. The girl's aunt and the girl's uncle claim the child was only in the car for 4 minutes, they say. But police say it was 91 degrees that day, heat index of 101, and that's plenty hot enough. Dr. Campbell is a practicing cardiologist and an assistant professor of medicine at the University of North Carolina. So you hear the response from the aunt and uncle saying it was just a short period of time. What do you say to that, doctor?
It's never okay to leave a child in a hot car. For example, if it's 70 degrees outside, within 1 hour, the temperature will raise up to about 40 degrees. Most of that occurs in the first 15 minutes, so it's never okay.
Because you can understand as a parent, I know you're a parent, I'm a parent now, you have these scenarios where your child's been crying all day long, they finally fall asleep, and you say to yourself, I'm just going to leave the child in the car, I'm going to crack the windows even, I can see the register, I can see where I'm going, I'm just running in to get a little bit of milk. Even in that scenario, even with the windows cracked, you can never ever do it.
Never do that. It is such a tragedy when we lose a child to heat-related illness. 600 children since 1990 have died by being locked in cars, and this is a big problem in the U.S. today.
And why is it so much more dangerous for a child than an adult?
Interestingly, our ability to cool ourselves does not fully develop until adulthood, so children actually produce more heat than adults do per body surface area, but they can't cool as efficiently.
That's really interesting. We're having a heat wave across the country right now. What is the easiest, most effective way to bring down your child's temperature, even if they're just outside playing?
The most important thing you can do is avoid dehydration. Bring them inside every 15 to 30 minutes. Make sure they drink tons of water. Kids, when they start asking for something to drink, are already 2% dehydrated at that point in time.
Okay, so that's some good tips for us. I want to ask you about this other topic as well. It's a new study out. It's actually your specialty as a heart doctor. And this new study suggests that all kinds of alcohol, we've heard about wine before, but that all kinds of alcohol can actually be good for your heart. Is that true?
So this new study came out of Vanderbilt. They studied about 800 twins, and they looked at them for almost 40 years and looked at alcohol consumption and diseases they developed. And what they found was that if you had moderate alcohol consumption, you had a decreased likelihood of having heart disease, not just wine, but spirits as well as beer.
And I've been quizzing the doctor. As our studio knows, I said, wait a minute, do margaritas count? What about mimosas, Doc? I was running through the list like a bar menu because it's surprising to me to think that there could be benefits to all those different drinks?
There can be. Alcohol has oxidative properties, or it can antioxidant properties, and it allows us to protect ourselves from damage. However, you have to remember, a lot of these mixed drinks have more calories because you have sugary mixers, and if you become obese and develop type 2 diabetes, you have a higher risk for heart disease.
So that's no good. But why? What would be the connection? Do we even know why alcohol could be good for our hearts?
We don't really know from this study. This was purely an observational study. There's no cause and effect. There seems to be a strong association. We know with red wine, there's chemicals in that red wine that actually protect our cells from oxidative stress and cell damage. And also, I think it has something to do with inflammation. Inflammation in the heart arteries leads to heart blockages, and it may be that these are anti-inflammatory.
Interesting. Now for the most important question, is this something that you follow, doctor, every day?
I do like a glass of red wine every day, and I think that's really important for everyone.
It's just a clear confession from the doctor.
Absolutely.
We like to just follow what you do, Doc. Great to have you on set as always, Dr. Campbell. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenna.
John?